The best way to find comedy is to be in a very safe environment where you feel free to create. That's the only way you can really do it. It's the only way I can do it. I'm not good with tough love. I like to be in a very nurturing atmosphere, to just be a child and play, and that's, I think, the best comedy. She lived in the castle in, you know, in the movie of Young Frankenstein, and now in the play of Young Frankenstein in Transylvania. And she was a housekeeper to Victor von Frankenstein, who is the grandfather. People on your internet thing right now are just over to .com. No history, jokes. Where are the when does funny begin? Don't cut this out. This is gold, comedy gold, man. I don't want to be improvising and then afterwards you just cut the serious stuff in. Frau Blucher is a housekeeper. And cut, and then another series. I want all this in. Magic. She had an affair with Victor von Frankenstein, and then Victor von Frankenstein died, and now, you know, Frederick Frankenstein comes back, but she's very protective of the secrets and the science that her boyfriend Victor did. She's very protective of the castle, very suspicious of Frederick, and at the same time wants the experiment to go on. I did children's theater very early in Portland, Maine. I was 9 years old, so my first performance was as a fairy godmother in Cinderella. My character parts began when I was 11. That's not pretty for a young girl, but you know what, you go where the work is. My parents had a condominium in Puerto Rico, and those were the days, like at the El San Juan, those hotels where there were club acts, and I was only 11, and Cheetah Rivera performed there. And I was mesmerized by her, and I guess I thought maybe it would be attainable. Maybe I saw something of myself in her, and I thought I wanted to do Broadway, but you know, that's not how my career went. It went off into Second City, and then SCTV, and then I had children, and I moved to LA, and when my boys were 9 and 11, out of the blue, somebody asked me to audition for my favorite year. I did win a Tony for that. I didn't even know what a Tony was. I didn't even think about it, honestly, for the whole run. And then ever since then, I've been thinking, when am I going to get my next Tony? Who else is up this year? Any other musicals opening? I actually do think this cast is really talented and really young and really great. But wouldn't you like once to hear somebody say, hey, you know, I think a couple of people are miscast? Susan Stroman and Mel Brooks and Tom Meehan and whoever cast this, I think handpicked the people and everybody involved, the costume, William Ivy Long. I don't know, I feel like I'm working in the creme de la creme on Broadway. I'd met him years ago. I auditioned for a movie called Life Stinks when I just got out of college. And he hasn't changed a bit. That was over 30 years ago, I think. In the 70s, I think it was. He has the same energy, the same unpredictability, the same improvisational ability, the same joy, the same generosity with his laughter, exactly the same. Except now I have the part, and then he gave it to Leslie Ann Warren. So he's matured. When I said yes to this, I really wanted to get back to comedy. After like struggling for a year, I'll show them I can do drama. You know, and I went off to do Rose Tattoo, and I went off to do The Matchmaker in Washington, and I took small parts, cameo parts in Ed and Crossing Jordan, and you know, really serious parts, and still they said, can you do Edith Prickly? So when this came along, I said, yeah, sign me up. You know, that's just where I wanted to be right now. I'm so lucky that I got an opportunity to do it.